Good day, everyone. My name is Ian Angelo S. Domingo, together with Carl Cesar de Guzman and Christian Davison. Now we are here to discuss the geothermal power plant or geothermal energy. Next. So what is geothermal? Geothermal power plants are used in order to generate electricity by the use of geothermal energy, the Earth's internal thermal energy. They essentially work the same as the coal, solar thermal, or nuclear power plant. The main difference being the heat source. And next, working principles. There is a natural source of power found below the surface of the Earth, has been around for centuries. Underground, far below us, there are pools of water heated by magma or molten rocks. These pools of water makes up our geothermal reservoir, harnessing the power of the earth temperature to power. Heat or cool our homes and businesses is the essence of geothermal power. And next, ranking of largest geothermal plants worldwide in 2018. So, una dito yung the geysers sa United States na merong 900 megawatts. Next dito yung Laderello sa Italy na merong 769 watts. Next is yung Cerro Prieto sa Mexico na merong 720 megawatts. And next dito yung sa atin, yung sa Philippines, yung Macban na merong 458 megawatts. Next is yung sa Iceland, yung Helsinki na merong 400 megawatts. Next, sa Philippines ulit, yung Malitbog na merong 377 megawatts. Next is yung sa United States, yung Salton Sea, meron siyang 340 megawatts. Next is yung sa Philippines, yung Tiwi, meron siyang 289 megawatts. Next, yung sa Indonesia, yung Darahat, meron siyang 259 megawatts. And last, yung Wayanggu Window sa Indonesia ulit, na merong 227 megawatts. So, largest geothermal plants worldwide in 2018. Ayan, next. So, ito naman yung top 10 geothermal countries. Installed capacity of megawatts July 2019. Ayan. With a total of 14,900 megawatts. Sa United States, merong 3,653 megawatts. Sa Indonesia, merong 1,948 megawatts. Sa Philippines, meron siyang 1,868 megawatts. Sa Turkey naman, meron siyang 1,347 megawatts. Sa New Zealand is 1,005 megawatts. Sa Mexico is 951 megawatts. Sa Italy is 944 megawatts. Sa Kenya is 763 megawatts. Sa Iceland is 755 megawatts. Sa Japan is 549 megawatts and others is 1,011 megawatts. So next. So ito yung Macban Geothermal Power Plant sa Pilipinas. Ayan. Next. So ito naman yung the Geysers Geothermal Plant. Ito yung pinakamalaki. Ayan. Next. Ayan. Ano nga ba yung ideal location sa geothermal plants? Ayan. The most active geothermal resources are usually found along major tectonic plate boundaries. where most volcanoes are located. One of the most active geothermal area in the world is called the Ring of Fire, which encircle the Pacific Ocean. So, kaya pala maraming geothermal plants dito sa Pilipinas kasi pasok tayo sa Ring of Fire. Ayan. When magma comes near the Earth's surface, it hit ground water trapped in porous rock or water running along fractured rock surface and faults. Ayan. Hydrothermal features have two common ingredients, which is the water and heat. Kaya tinawag siyang hydrothermal. Water means hydro and heat means thermal. Ayan, next. Geologists use various methods to find geothermal reservoir. Drilling a well and testing the temperature deep underground is the most reliable method for locating a geothermal reservoir. These reservoirs are deep underground and are largely undetectable above ground. Geothermal energy finds its ways to the Earth's surface in three ways: volcanoes and fumaroles. Fumaroles, ito yung holes in the earth where volcanic gases are released, hot spring, and geysers. Ayan, next. Ayan, ito yung example picture ng volcanoes and fumaroles. So, yan. Next. So, ito naman yung sample picture ng hot spring. Next. So, ito naman yung tinatawag nating geysers. Ayan. Next.
Yeah. Dry steam power plant. Dry steam plants are the most common types of geothermal power plants, accounting for about half of the installed geothermal plants. They work by piping hot steam from underground reservoirs directly into turbines from geothermal reservoirs, which power the generators to provide electricity. After powering the turbines, the steam condenses into water and is piped back into the earth via the injection well. So ito nga yung example niya. So next, flash steam power plant. Yung flash steam plants differ from dry steam because they pump hot water rather than steam directly to the surface. These flash steam plants pump hot water at a high pressure from below the earth into a flash tank on the surface. The flash tank is at a much lower temperature, causing the fluid to quickly flash into steam. The steam produced powers the turbines. The steam is cooled and condenses into water, where it is pumped back into the ground through the injection well. So ito naman yung example ng flash steam power plant. So next, binary cycle power plant. In these binary cycle plants, the main difference is that the water or steam from below the earth never comes in direct contact with the turbines. Instead, water from geothermal reservoir is pumped through a heat exchanger where it hits a second liquid like isobutene, which boils at a lower temperature than water. This second liquid is heated into steam, which power the turbines that drives a generator. The hot water from the earth is recycled into the earth through the injection well, and the second liquid is recycled through the turbines and back into the heat exchanger where it can be used again. So ito naman yung example niya. So next, construction cost. The initial cost of geothermal power plant construction is high, but operational costs soon become relatively low. This means that even though geothermal energy becomes financially worthwhile in the end, The cost of power plants construction may put geothermal energy out of the questions. Advantage. Some advantages of geothermal power includes its sustainability and consistency. Geothermal energy is renewable, so it's both more environmentally friendly and less susceptible to natural resource wars than fossil fuel are. Geothermal can consistently produce energy output 24/7 regardless of weather conditions or seasonal changes. Yung disadvantage naman niya, the disadvantage of geothermal power are the geographic limitations and high cost associated with power plant construction. This needs to be built over regions with underground reservoir of hot steam or water. Through it's technically possible to engineer enhanced geothermal systems in unsuitable environments. It's highly impractical to do so. EGS requires extensive space, planning, construction, government, oversight, and capital, and can only be accomplished by federal or state governments and corporations. Next. Hydroelectric power plant or hydropower. Ang hydroelectric power plant o hydropower, yung working principle niya is yung hydropower plants capture the energy of falling water to generate electricity. A turbine converts the kinetic energy of falling water into a mechanical energy. Then a generator converts the mechanical energy from the turbine into electrical energy. Next, yung largest hydroelectric power plant. Sa yung Three Gorges Dam sa China, sa Yangtze, meron siyang capacity na 22,500 megawatts. Years of completion is 2008 hanggang 2012. Sa Itaipu Dam sa Paraguay, Brazil, sa Parana, meron siyang 14,000 megawatts na capacity. Yung years of completion niya is 1984 to 1991 hanggang 2003. Sa Siludu, China o sa Jinsha, meron siyang 13,860 megawatts. Years of completion niya is 2014. Sa Belo Monte, sa Brazil, sa Xingu, meron siyang capacity na 11,233 megawatts. Noong years of completion, 2016 hanggang 2019. Sa Guri, sa Venezuela, sa Coroni, meron siyang capacity na 10,235 megawatts. Years of completion niya is 1978 hanggang 1986. Largest hydropower in Philippines. Ito yung Magat Dam. Yung the Magat Hydroelectric Power Plant is one of the largest hydro facilities in Luzon with a maximum output of 380 megawatts. The construction of the dam started in 1975 and was completed in 1982. It is one of the largest dam in the Philippines. It is a multi-purpose dam which is used primarily for irrigating about 85,000 hectares or 210,000 acres of agricultural lands and power generation through the Magat Hydroelectric Power Plant. The dam is located within the boundaries of Namilangan sa Alfonso Lista, Ifugao, and Ramon, Isabela. Note, Ilihan combined cycle power plant and solar power station is the largest in Philippines with a generating capacity of 1,200 megawatts. Sa Luzon, grid has a total capacity of 14,348 megawatts. Three Gorges Dam in China has a capacity of 22,500 megawatts.
Largest hydroelectric power plant. First is yun sa Taquary sa Brazil. Ang river niya is Tocantins na merong 8,370 megawatts. Ang years completion niya is 1984 to 2007. And yung next is Grand Coulee sa United States. At ang river niya is Columbia na merong 6,809 megawatts. Ang years completion niya is 1942, 1950, 1973, 1975, 1980, 1983, 1984, and 1991. Next is Zhangjiagang sa China. Ang river niya is Jinsha na may 6,448 megawatts na years completion niya is 2014. Next is yung Longtan Dam sa China din na ang river niya is Hongshu na merong 6,426 megawatts na ang years completion niya is 2007 to 2009. Next is yung Siano Shushenskaya sa Russia. Ang river niya is Yenisei. Ang meron siya 6,400 megawatts. Ang years completion niya is 1985, 1989, and 2010-2014. Next, hydroelectric power plant or hydropower. How it operates. Dam. Most hydropower plants rely on the dam that holds back water, creating a large reservoir. Often, this reservoir is used to recreational lake, such as Lake Roosevelt at the Grand Coulee Dam in Washington State. Intake. Gates on the dam open the gravity pulls the water through the penstock, a pipeline that leads to the turbine. Water builds up pressure as it flows through this pipe turbine. The water strikes and turns the large blades of a turbine, which is attached to a generator above it by way of a shaft. Generators. As the turbine blades turns, so do a series of magnets inside the generator. Giant magnets rotate past copper coils, producing alternating current or AC by moving electrons. Next, transformer. The transformers inside the powerhouse takes the AC and converts it to higher voltage current. Next is power lines. Out every power plant comes 4 wires. The 3 phases of power being produced simultaneously plus a neutral or ground common to all 3. Last is outflow. Used water is carried through pipelines called tailraces and re-enters the river downstream. Next. Hydropower, how it operates. Ito yung itsura ng dam na example na itsura ng dam. Next. And then yung sa may dam niya, kailangan naka-elevate siya kasi para yung pagpasok niya yung pag-flow niya sa turbine is malakas yung ng tubig pagdating sa turbine. Tapos yung barrier naman sa may taas is yun yung maharang sa yung tubig na nanggagaling sa reservoir. Tapos yung trash rock naman, ito yung maharang sa mga pwedeng makabara sa pagdadaluyan ng tubig. Tapos, pag kailangan naman na ng electricity, gagamitan na siya ng control gate. Nadadaan sa may penstock, yung pinakatubo niya papunta sa turbine. Tapos, pag umikot yung turbine na yon, pupunta na siya sa generator. Then, after sa generator, pupunta na siya sa transformer. Tapos, yung transformer na yun, papunta na sa substation, yung mga na papunta sa consumer. Tapos, yung drop tube naman is kaya meron drop tube is para mas mapalakas yung pag-agos papunta sa turbine and papalabas na sa river. Tapos yung spillway naman is pag ginagamit yung spillway pag nasa critical level na siya yung pag umaapaw na yung tubig. Ibubukas na yung spillway para hindi masira yung mismong dam. Tapos yung fish ladder naman, ito yung yung mitigation on the part of the owner, yung nagmi-minimize ng impact of marine ecosystem. Next, construction. The construction of this dam is difficult and about intensive. Before construction begins, water is delivered or prevented from moving through the construction site. After the water is diverted, and the foundation area is cleaned, excavated, and the rock or sediments that will act as a foundation are repaired and deemed solid. This is done to ensure the rock or sediments won't shift or fall as a result of the load of the dam and reservoir. Support known as a rock bolts and netting by be used to prevent rocks from falling the dam. Forms are then built along the edges of the dam. Rebar is placed inside and concrete to pump in. This is done in section. The concrete is poured bit by bit in a clock formation. Once enough of the dam is built, the reservoir is allowed to fill highly controlled manner. The dam is monitored during this process. Other structures that make them operational are then added. Next, hydropower dam design. Ito yung mga design ng solid gravity dam, arc dam, Bowrest dam. Next. At ito rin yung isang example ng design ng dam. Next. Main factors that determines the dam power output. Next. The amount of electricity a hydropower plant procedures depends on two factors. First is how far the water falls. The farther the water falls, the more power it has. Generally, the distance that the water falls depends on size of the dam. The higher the dam, the farther the water falls, and more water is directly proportional to the distance it falls. In other words, water falling twice as far has twice as much energy. Next is yung amount of water falling. More water falling through the turbine will produce more power. The amount of water available depends on the amount of water falling down the river. Bigger rivers have more flowing water that can produce more energy. Power is also directly proportional to river flow. A river with a twice amount of flowing water as another river can produce at twice as much energy. Next. Tallest dam. Currently, the tallest dam in the world is Nurik Dam on the Baksh River in Tajikistan. It is a 984 feet or 300 meters tall. Hoover Dam is 716.4 feet or 221.3 meters tall. Today, Hoover Dam still ranks in the top 20 on the tallest dam in the world, but only in the concrete, gravity, and arc categories. Next, dam failures. Ito yung Bangyao Dam na ang pangalan niya is Hena, yung river niya is Hena na sa China. 26,000 death from flooding, 145,000 death from subsequent famine and epidemics, 11 million homeless, cost loss of generation, dam failed by overtopping in a 2,000 year flood noong 1975. Next is yung Makchu Dam na ang pangalan ng river niya is Makchu sa India. The Makchu Dam 11 collapse, leading the deluge of the city of Morbi and the surroundings of rural areas. 1,800 to 25,000 people were killed noong 1979. Last is yung Overbill Dam. Ito yung river niya is yung California sa United States. Damage spillway caused evacuation of 180,000 noong 2017.